A pleasant good morning to everyone. For 2021, this will be our kickstart, and I hope everyone has already settled with the convenience of our schedule. I will be taking the morning session, and your assessment with Mrs. Sumunod will take its classes every afternoon on Saturdays. So I hope you are all familiar with that already. And I hope those who will be watching this, those who are not able to attend the session today, please do your responsibilities and tasks that are given to you. I hope everyone will be able to join the online classes as much as possible so that you can have interaction and participation with each other, together also with your instructors, your facilitators. Our Google Classroom link is already available, and I hope everyone will be able to join the class or the Google Classroom, as every activity or every task and other relevant announcements to our class will be posted there, and
Excuse,
submissions as well. Yes,
excuse me, sir. Sir, pwede mga isa-link sa Google Classroom, sir? Wala mo ako, sir.
kindly check our chat box here in the Google Meet. You will find the link there. Okay, go to our chat box here in the Google Meet again, and you will find the link.
Okay, sir. I will try.
Again, I hope everyone had a wonderful time during the Christmas break. Did you enjoy your Christmas vacation? Was it meaningful and worthwhile, despite the fact that we are under the new normal? This pandemic has brought many changes to our usual routines, especially during holidays or the Christmas season. I hope everyone had a wonderful time and made some very worthy or worthwhile reflections that will carry us through 2021 and all the years that will come our lives. I hope you did enjoy your Christmas break. And I think some of you are already accomplishing their requirements in their previous or your previous modules. Because piling up the requirements, if you have your requirements delayed since your first module with Ms. Ixchaure or Mampuray or Sir Alex, then here comes the last two modules with another set of requirements, then it will be overwhelming on your part. You might be super stressed. So as much as possible, we'd like to make things easier and manageable for everyone. Someone was asking, or there was a question, the G Suite account is good for all our transactions or activities. So in the Google Classroom or Google Meet, it is very, not very highly, but it is a must or required for you to use your G Suite accounts. That is why I'm asking everyone, please activate or make use of your G Suite accounts. So it will be easier. Those who are using the G Suite can tell you, can vouch that if you are on your G Suite account, there's no problem in entering the classroom or even in joining the Google Meet, because it will just automatically be inside the Google Meet. You don't need to be admitted or wait for my approval. Also in the Google Classroom. So it's all synced, it's all uniform. And by the way, I posted there already in the Google Classroom. This link that we're having right now, this will be our permanent link. And please ignore the link on the header. The header link sometimes changes from time to time. We are using this link. Okay, so please take note of this. Anyway, this is posted in the bulletin, in the class stream, in the Google Classroom. So every time we meet on Saturdays, just click that link. It's already permanently scheduled. So I hope you are seeing on your screens right now the slides. Just to run through what we had in our very first meetup, we tried to eh, establish what constitutes good teaching. And we found out that all the qualities or characteristics must be embodied by a teacher. And these are the following: knowledge of the subject, course preparation and organization, clarity and understandability, enthusiasm for subject or teaching, sensitivity to and concern with students' progress, availability and helpfulness, quality of examinations and tests, impartiality in evaluating students, and overall fairness to students. So they might be very overwhelming or they might sound very tasking. It will require a lot of effort, a lot of patience, a lot of energy for us to be able to be a good teacher, to qualify as a good teacher. But as you already know, and you already reflected, I assumed that you are already now at the point of no return, wherein you are able to realize that this is something that you're going to pursue, and a noble pursuit at that. And there's no stepping back or going back. But if you'd like to, well, we don't force you. Many are called, but very few will be chosen, and very, very few from the chosen will be okay, worthy to be really selected. I hope I am very clear. Am I clear or audible? Is it okay? My audio, is it okay?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
No problem, sir.
That's good.
Yes, sir.
Now, before we proceed, I have some very important announcements or some notices for all the Prof Ed students. Okay, so our school, since you are now part of the GCC community, we are one family. And Hingog City Colleges, every January, for those who know, who are alumni here already, you're familiar. For those who are new members, then January is our founding anniversary. It's our foundation anniversary. And also with that, because we are devoted to our patron, Senior Santo Niño, we have Sinulog activities, Sinulog Festival. But this year, under the new normal because of the pandemic, we are trying to continue with our activities, but on slightly different modes, especially due to some restrictions. But no matter what and no matter how, we will pursue because without the aid of our patron, we believe that we can do nothing, but with our child Jesus, we are able to sustain and we are able to go through our lives, especially this time. So, the Prophet students, or in the Prophet program, we are being called for sharing. December, we have received a lot, probably. If not a lot, then we have received what is due to us, especially the blessings of good health, of family, of love, of everything there is that we are thankful for. And the blessings do not end in December. We'd like us to become people who are willing to share, who are selfless. So January calls us to become even more generous and thoughtful. So we are calling for donations for our outreach programs. And the Prof Ed actually are asked, implored, gihangyo, gimanyahan. We are having an outreach to the inmates, okay, our Handog Kapatid for the prisoners. GCC has been doing this for a long time now. And because there is a lot of budgetary requirements, and our benefactors and sponsors this year, based on our estimation, okay, the estimated costs, we cannot cover enough of the food packs that will be given to our uh, fellow men in the uh, penitentiary. So we are targeting that the profit program, okay, will be able to raise funds, and the amount is already there flashed on your screen. That's actually the target amount that we are going to raise to be able to complete the food packs for all the inmates. Actually, there's a rising number of inmates. There's actually already 180 plus, if I'm not mistaken, and um, we don't know how many more will be added uh, because each day or each week there will be additional. Hopefully not, and the outreach will be on the 15th. So we are asking your very kind and generous and very wide hearts and minds that how are we going to raise this? Well, a little, okay, a little thing goes a long way. Okay, so we are encouraging everyone to help us reach our target, our goal, and feel free to donate to your heart's content. Basin mag-ingon mo nga, kagamay ra ba sa 4,000? Basin, naray isa or duha ka tawo mag-shoulder dani, wala gi problema kung mag-abot sa 1 million. Because whatever money that will be raised, more than the target, it will also go through the other beneficiaries that we have. And aside from the food packs for the inmates, we will also help out senior citizens, those who are really in need in barangay 18A. This is our target barangay for this year, and we shall also be giving them some goods or some good donation. Now, for the senior citizens, although the budgetary requirements for that is taken care of by another sponsor, but we are also assigned to repack the goods for the senior citizens. You know, it's not just about money. Usahay, we are confident that if we give money or if we give an amount, then that's already good. Well, it's good, but aside from financial or monetary donations, our gift of time, you know, when you give someone your time, your attention, or when you um, put something on your schedule, it's also meaningful. Kung maghatag ta og higayon or takna or oras to do a particular thing, not for ourselves, but for others, that's also well appreciated. So we're encouraging also those who will be available tomorrow afternoon, Sunday. I know it's a family day, but if we can just spare or sacrifice a little bit of our time, okay, to help in the repacking of the goods for the senior citizens. That's also another donation that you can give. Your gift of time is even more precious than money. Usahay, ipang tagat naman ginato na ito mga sinsilyo, but time is also a very treasured and valuable gift. No? When we are able to, I don't know if you feel this, but there's a good feeling when you help, when you volunteer. So we encourage everyone, those who will be available tomorrow. You can drop by at the school campus beginning 1 p.m. Ma'am Marlene and I will be there since we are in charge for the repacking. So we hope to see you there. You can also drop by if you will have your donations by tomorrow. We actually have the entire week to reach the 4,004K project or target. And the distribution for the senior citizens on January 15 is on January 15 in Barangay 18A. We also encourage you, but not everyone, of course. We are limited to restrictions and the social distancing. We don't really require everyone to be there at the outreach, but those who will have the time and the energy to help us distribute, okay, the goods and the whatever pahalipay that we can give to the senior citizens on January 15. So I hope this is clear or this is well received. I hope you will take this on a very positive note. Okay? We are actually soliciting for your generosity. And this is not for us, this is not for our personal gains, but we are not ashamed, according to the president, Ma'am Tita Garrido, dili ni maulaw, the school will not be ashamed nga mangayo or mangayo og donation or solicitation because these are for the good of the many. These are for community and social responsibility purposes. So I hope you understand that as well. Okay?
Wala pong problema, sir.
Yes, is there a problem? Yes?
Kakoy wala pong problema, sir. Receive po.
Okay, okay. I thought there's a problem. You said, sir, problema ko talaga kasi may 1 million ako nakahanda dito. Pwede bang 1 million na lang? Why not? Okay. So, yes, for the details of your donations, you can message me or Ma'am Marlene Sumunod. Later also in the afternoon, Ma'am Marlene will reiterate this one. So, grabing promotion namin dito, no? Para talaga maantig yung mga puso ninyo. And a little blessing when shared will multiply. So, we are all for generosity and giving back. Okay? Pasasaan ba't ang biyaya kapag itinatago yan at ipinagdadamot? Naku, hindi dadami yan. We believe in the multiplier effect. So, we pay it forward. Okay? So, I hope this goes to your schedule also. Tomorrow, we have repacking of goods for those interested to help and join. And please also, when you come and join us, please wear face masks and, of course, face shields. Standard protocol this time. Okay, now also you are all enrolled in the Google Classroom, hopefully, or was able to enter and join the Google Classroom that we have. Let me just accept some people who are joining in the Google Meet. I'm sorry for this, but maybe there are many waiting. Okay, we go back. Okay, right then. We proceed with our lesson, our topic for this morning. One of the topics that we will have, the elements of teaching and learning. Now, the teaching and learning environment or the whole scenario, okay, is a cast and crew. cast and crew of the following components: the learner, the teacher, and the learning environment. Now, these three elements constitute the teaching and learning space. Of course, we begin with the learners. The learners are our clientele. We are the service providers as facilitators, as teachers. So we believe, or we should be, under the principle that the learner is an embodied spirit. Embodied spirit because, okay, he is neither body nor spirit alone. The learner is a union of a sentient body and a rational soul. His body experiences sensations and feels pleasure and pain. His soul is a principle of spiritual acts, the source of intellectual abstraction, self-reflection, and free rational volition. Body and soul exist in mutual dependence. That's according to Kelly, 1965. So we consider our students, our learners, as physical, at the same time spiritual, body and soul. Now, because the learner is a body and soul united in one, okay, we also believe that he or she has these fundamental equipments. What are these fundamental equipments? Okay. It's divided into two. First, the cognitive faculties. Okay. The cognitive faculties constitute or involves the conscious intellectual activity such as thinking, reasoning, or remembering. So everything that belongs to cognition, as said, it's all about thinking, reasoning, or remembering. Now, part of the cognitive faculties are the following: senses, instincts, imagination, memory, and intellect. Again, these are the five components of the cognitive faculties. Then the second faculty is the appetitive faculty. Okay, the appetitive faculty constitutes two: the feelings and emotions, and then the will. So we have first the cognitive faculties, and then next is the appetitive faculties. That's why the learner is considered both body, okay, a physical being, and soul because of the, okay, feelings and emotions and the will. Now, in the appetitive faculties, the learners has the capacity to think and choose what he or she thinks to be desirable according to his or her own analysis, according to what the learner decides, what the learner feels, what the learner is inclined to. The learner's rational will serve as a kind of guiding force or a main integrating force in his or her character. The will is the drive to do, to act. That's why our learners are considered both body and soul because they have physical, they have cognition, they have the mind, but they also have the affect, the feelings, shall we say, the heart. But even though we consider them to be a union of physical and spiritual, there are still differences that can be found or that is present in all of us, not just learners, but everyone. Okay? Everyone will have these individual differences. Now, how do we classify or how do we categorize or how do we um, put into consideration these differences? One, there could be differences in ability. It could either be two, aptitude. Third, it could be interests. They could vary on interests or motivation. Fourth, family and cultural background, which is linked with the fifth, attitudes and values. Now, the last two, family, culture, attitudes, and values, they're actually highlighted to be the integrating factor for all the other differences. Family really plays a very crucial role, and the differences of the family experiences or the life experiences affects the students' values, the values formation, and the attitude or character or personality of our learners. And because of these, we meet certain challenges, if not certain problems or problematic areas in terms of learning because of family background. Because when we say ability, okay, it's the student's native ability that dictates the prospects of success in purposeful activity. It determines their capacity to understand and assimilate information for their own use and application. Perhaps we could think of ability would be the intelligence factor. Kakayahan. So we are talking about kaya ba ng estudyante, kaya ba ni mag-aaral na ma-integrate, maisama-sama lahat ng kanyang natutunan o nalalaman para magamit niya ito sa mga makabuluhang bagay. Because if we are able to integrate what we have known, what we have learned, and what we practice, that means that we have the ability. In another way of saying that we have developed intellect. Well, aptitude, okay, refers to the student's innate talent or gift. It indicates the natural capacity to learn certain skills. When ability is more on learning by integrating what you know and by practicing it, aptitude is more likely developing some inclinations. Not all of us will have the same aptitude or aptitude levels because we have different motivations and different nurturing. For those who are good in performance arts, for those who are good in mathematical problem solving activities, for those who are good with visual spatial, okay, then the development of these talents or gifts, okay, will be at the individual rate. You cannot say that, naku, napakaganda ng boses nito si estudyante A. Ba't di naman si estudyante B? Ba't sintonado? Kasi nga, iba-iba yung ating mga talento. Kumbaga, yung talent, kanya-kanya yan. Pero yung talent, kapag nade-develop, talagang lumalabas. Pag hindi naman, hindi. Pero yung ability, natututunan. Yung skill. Yung skill ay differentiated yan sa talent. Pwede naman tayong magluto lahat, di ba? The cooking skills can be developed, can be learned. Pero hindi lahat ng nagluluto masarap magluto. No? Kanya-kanya kasi ang aptitude. Third will be interest. Our students will have varied interests. We will be handling, you will be handling high school students or senior high school students. For those of you who are teaching or is involved with academic careers, interests really are, I don't know, it's a sea of interests in a classroom. Learners vary in activities that are undertaken due to a strong appeal or attraction. Probably you will say, students get bored in the classroom because they have different, attractions. Sometimes the classroom is not the best place. But if we provide correct, appropriate activities, then we might be able to catch their very limited attention or perhaps hook their interests. A teenager's mind is up to anywhere else in the universe. Remember, they are at the stage in their lives when they're trying to explore, they're trying to get to know the ways of the world, and it's the time that they develop career paths. So, napakarami talaga ng motivation. Actually, sa dami ng motivation ng isang teenager, wala siyang focus because he or she would like to do everything given the power of his youthfulness and age. But later on, especially those who will be in higher grades, papunta ng grade 10, yung grade 10 magiging grade 11 and 12, si 11 and 12 magiging college, they will have purified or distilled or sifted through, nasala na nila yung kanilang mga gusto sa buhay. And they are already focused on quite a number or quite a handful of opportunities. But while they are at the stage of development, we really expect that interests are different. If you have children, if you have pamangkins, you will know this, diba? If you have your own child, nasing gamay nga bata, magtapok-tapok man sila mga gusto. Karon gusto mag-drawing. The next time, gusto maggunting-gunting, maggisi-gisi og mga papel. The next time, we just let them be actually. Because these differences will really highlight whatever pathway they would like. Family and cultural background. As I said, the last two items will be very determinant. Of course, students who come from different socioeconomic background manifest a wide range in behavior. Most of the quote-unquote school problems or student-related problems will actually reflect family background or the culture of the family. I'm not saying about racial or ethnic culture, but on a particular sense, we're talking about iba-iba kasi ang home life experience ng estudyante. We can never judge one student and the type of family that he or she has or has been living with. But it impacts greatly on schooling. Alam natin yan, even our own personal experiences. Socioeconomic background is one factor to that. Financial status of families, especially now in the pandemic, are quite shaken. Okay? Some of our students in the private schools opted to go to the public schools because of sustainability issues. Okay? Some students cannot even afford to go to school at all because they need to work. Even if the public school is a free, free educational system. And we have a lot of stories. We cannot enumerate them all, but we know all the drama of family background and learning. It's just that as teachers, as facilitators, we should be able to strike a balance with how do we motivate our students to achieve? How do we let them try to process their life stages and their home life experiences? We're not saying that students who belong to middle class or middle income families who are comfortable in living do well in school. We cannot also say that poor students are poor performers or that high profile students are unruly or misbehave. There's no one size fits all, or there's no description really that will determine a good family equals a good student. Not really. A broken family equals a troublesome, problematic child. Not all the time. But we consider this case-to-case basis. Attitudes and values. Students have a unique way of thinking and reacting. Confronted with the same situation in the learning environment, each one would react differently depending on their personal characteristics. Attitudes and values are reflecting or manifesting the home background and the upbringing of our learners. Okay? Sometimes we fail to see that our students first are a product of their home. Okay? Later on, they become a product of the whole learning system, which involves the school, the teacher, and their immediate environment. So, taking into notice these aspects of the individual differences, we can then, okay, set, okay, our expectations. We can attune, or we can calibrate the kind and the way of teaching and facilitation that we will do. Okay, before we proceed with these statements, let me just check again. Somebody's entering the Google Meet. Or, yes. Any questions so far or clarification with regards to the items discussed? Okay, good. Then we proceed to some statements. Is this already on your screen? Is this visible right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Thank you. Affirm or deny these statements. Whether you affirm, you say, yes, we believe, or you're halfway to believing and denying. There will be always something new to learn as long as I or you live.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir.
you believe this statement. There will, I mean, you already know that as long as we are living and breathing, everything is a learning experience.
Hello, Sir Paul. Saba kay mong background.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for noticing that one. Yes, thank you so much. There will always be something new to learn as long as we live. Every day is a learning experience. Our existence, our lives are a great book, and we learn with each other from each other. Coming into Prof Ed, I hope you realize there are many things that you still don't know. And there are many things that you know that you are willing to share with. It doesn't mean ay, nakagraduate na ko. I am done already with studying. I mean, for you, you already finished your first courses or your bachelor's degree. Some of you have taken masters or other other courses, and now you are taking another, which is Prof Ed. And I hope there's a learning experience, or um, everything is useful. Everything that you get from us here. I'm not afraid to commit mistakes as long as I learn from them.
Yes, sir. I
Yes,
believe.
sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
of course. I mean, at our age right now, at your age, probably you're younger or older than me. Well, I think our voice of experience will always tell us we have been through a lot of, not really a lot, but we have been through life's problems, the highest of the high and the lowest of the low in our life, our timelines. And probably it's best to say that our mistakes were our learning experiences. Hopefully, we have learned from those mistakes in the past, or if we are still committing the same mistakes, oh my God, anong oras, anong petsa na, 2021 na, diba? Bawal na daw maging marupok sa 2021.
Yeah.
We take advantage of every opportunity to learn.
Yes, sir.
Yes, are you taking advantage of your opportunities to learn? Hopefully, the new normal online classes have given you opportunities to learn. For example, all of us went through some technological upgrade this, I mean, beginning to 2020. We need to know how do we man the gadget for Google Meet? How do we register emails? I mean, for some of you who might have experienced first-time technology encounters, like saan ko ba pag-register din mga account or how do I
Tinuod dyan na, sir.
how do I even take a selfie and make this my profile in the Google Meet, or how do I download? How do I upload? I mean, you know, they are opportunities. Challenges equal opportunity. Huwag nating isipin na challenge yan. Because if it's a challenge, we have to constantly fight. I mean, there's no fighting. Technology is our friend. Make it an opportunity to learn. Perhaps you even ask your anak or your pamangkin or someone younger in your family, tudlo isa ko unsaon ni di ba? Unsaon ba ako pag set up na niya akong camera? How do I look at the camera with straight in the cam? I mean, it's a give and take situation. I hope that made you realize that it's a good way to connect and learn. Or unsa man pag-search, di ba? Just kana lang i-search. The word search is overused, but that's actually the learning that we have. Or I mean, in the group chats are very useful for everyone, even before the pandemic. But on the online mode, it's even more useful because every communication is sent through the group chat, the GCs that we have. And hopefully you will use the Google Classroom far more than the group chat. Take advantage of the Google Classroom and its features. Ano man, sa group chat, kapoy kayo mag-backread because the only feature there is to scroll up and down. But in the Google Classroom, everything is arranged and organized. You don't need to really scroll back. You take charge of your own learning.
Yes, sir. I believe.
You
Yes,
believe.
sir.
You believe you take charge of your own learning. Everyone does. Okay. But with the help, of course, with the help of others, everyone is a team. Okay. I mean, considering that we are not here facing each other, I mean, on a face-to-face level, I'm well aware for sure that all efforts are taken as a group, as a team. Di ba? Huy, unsa tong assignment sa kuan? Nagpasa na rin si kuan nagbutang na si ma'am dito sa kuan, di ba? Pa-share, pa-link. I mean, but at the end of the day, it's you yourself who can motivate or make yourselves pursue. Some of the Prof Ed classes that we had before really had good team dynamics. Okay, and they are having this because they're a sort of family. I just don't know with the online classes that we have right now, if you have established some close connections, probably if you're neighbors with your classmate also, but there might be some differences in the dynamics of the groupings or the class right now. But as I noticed before, even in the Prof Ed, they really have constant communication. Even if they are distant or far apart, some students are in Magsaysay, some students are from Sugbong-Kogon, but they manage to do group activities good enough, and they manage also to take charge of their own learning. But we have to see about that. We cannot predict. I mean, it goes with the time that we will spend. But please do take charge of your own learning. Ayaw pagsalig, daghan magtabang nimo, and nagsalig sad ko nga ikaw or kamo will do things 90% on your own. Of course, I'll leave the 10% to your guardian angels. Of course, because you can take charge of your own learning, probably this is a yes. You're very willing and eager to learn. Am I correct?
Agree, sir. Yes.
We're still 100%.
Please, sir.
Good. Right. I am grateful to teachers who demand quality and excellence for effective teaching.
Yes, sir.
Would you be willing to be subjected to a lot of requirements? Demanding requirements? Well, you don't
Oo,
have a
sir.
choice.
Ka naman natututo kami.
Yes. We learn the hard way. And for those who are mature, we'll say mature, for those who are advanced, di ba? We are in our 30s, most of us probably, or 40s. We know that life gives us lessons the hard way. And when we learn the hard way, we really learn. And when the requirements are overwhelming, daghan na kay requirements, pag nagpatong-patong, tambak-tambak na yung requirements, huwag mong isipin na pabigat yan. Unang-una, pinili mo naman to, di ba? Di ka namin pinilit. It's your choice, not my choice. But the requirements really are there not to punish you, but to make you learn. And there's no other way to shortcut or circumvent the system, but to undergo the step-by-step, okay, procedures. I have made it a habit to set my personal learning goals. Have you set your learning goals already? Or did you have a sort of target?
Honestly, sir, hindi to usual ginagawa. Pero mas mabuti yung may ganito, sir. May personal learning goals.
Yes, personal learning goals. And what are these personal learning goals? It's not something that should be big, okay? Although you start with a larger idea, you say, gusto ko makapag-DepEd. That's the biggest idea, di ba, of joining Prof Ed. Gusto mong mag-DepEd, gusto mong mag-public school teacher kasi 30,000 na daw siya by the time you will enter the service. That's the greatest goal, but set it on manageable, achievable goals. O, bago ka muna pumunta ng DepEd, number 1, nag-Prof Ed ka muna. O, so while you are at the step 1 or step 0 level, okay, set mo na yung goals mo. Like, for this week, I will answer episode 1. I will accomplish assignment number 1. O, kasi may assignment number 100 na kayo eh. O, so 1/100 ka na. Next day, babasahin ko naman si chapter 1 of chapter ano. So, little by little, pakonti-konting goals, pag na-achieve yan, no, you eventually get to the bigger goal. Di ba pag naglilinis ng bahay, hindi pwedeng linisin yung buong bahay? Oh, sino ba yung mga ano dyan? Best in housekeeping at saka mga obsessive-compulsive, neat freaks. Pag naglinis ang bahay, hindi pwedeng baliktarin yung bahay. Baka ngayon, sala muna. Next day, kusina. Next day, yung room. Next day, yung cabinet. Next day, yung CR. O, at the end of the week, malinis na yung buong bahay mo. By the next week, marumi na naman yung una mong nalinisan. Linisin mo na ulit. So, that's it. Set achievable, smaller goals.
Time management, sir.
Yes, correct. Time management equals the goals. And going back to time management, we are now on the last 2 modules, my module and Ma'am Marlene. Kumusta yung first 4 modules ninyo? Tapos na ba lahat ng requirements dun sa teaching profession, EdTech,
Wala pa gani na
child
sugdan.
development,
Wala pa na sugdan.
developmental reading? Wala pa?
Sir, maluoy ka. Maluoy ka, sir.
Opo, sir. Nakapagod sa
Bakit
FS,
ako maawa? Wala pa akong ibinigay na requirement. So, that's it. If your learning goal is, dapat karon nga week, di ba? Karon nga week, kang kamamweng, humanong tanan. Next week na sad, kang Sir Galia. Or next I mean, we have different styles, di ba? Pwede man nga, Monday, some of us Monday, kani nga subject, Tuesday, kani nga subject, or kani nga oras, kani nga activity, kani nga oras. Especially for those who are working or with other commitments. Okay? Good for those who are, freelance. When you say freelance, yun bang, ito lang yung profit ang inaatupag mo, walang iba talagang major obligation. But for those who are working or those with commitments, medyo the time management is mismanaged. And those with families or those with responsibilities, I don't know how we win this, but you eventually will go to achieve those. And because you have to find time to check your progress against personal learning goals. Ito ngayon, baka si goals natin, ang dami-dami, ang taas-taas, ang laki-laki ng goal, 'di ba? For example, 'di ba? Gusto ko nang pumayat sa 2021, 'di ba? I wanna be 34, 24, 36, 24, 36, or gusto mo nang magka-abs sa 2021. Pero yung personal progress mo naman, Diyos ko, kain pa rin tayo ng kain. O hindi pa rin nagka-cut back sa soft drinks o kung ano mang comfort food. Ano yan? May goal nga tayo, di ba? Parang yung goal, hindi dapat dream. Yung bang, pangarap mo na lang pumayat, pero kain ka pa rin ng kain. I'm talking to myself, di ba? Pero how about you?
Dapat na, disiplina to.
Yes, self-discipline. Yun bang, gusto mo na talagang maging teacher, gusto mong pumasa ng board exam, hindi ka pa nakapasa ng assignment kay Sir Robles, gusto mo na mag-board exam. Pakiumpog nga ng sarili mo.
Sir, dami kami tinamaan.
So tumama.
Sir Don.
Napakalayo na ng inabot ng pangarap mo, pero nandyan ka pa sa pintuan nyo, hindi ka pa nakapaglakad. So, nagmamatch dapat yung progress mo sa personal learning goals. Okay? And of course, para ma-achieve mo yan, you give your best in everything you are asked to do in order to learn. Huwag mong gawing team song yung, I did my best, but I guess my best wasn't good enough. Diyos ko.
Bang!
Huwag mo sa, nako ginawa ko na po yung best ko. That is what is being said by all people who auditioned. Pag sumali ka ng The Voice, pag naging PBB housemate ka, pag naging contestant ka talagang gagawin ko po yung best ko, iti-try ko po yung best ko, ewan ko sa best na yan. Ibigay mo talaga yan. Kasi kung ginawa mo talaga yung best mo, talagang ikaw na yan. Okay? So, do your best. Pero sir, baka yung best ko hindi best para sa akin, sa iyo. What is it that we try to use so that we can gauge your best? I think you're familiar with rubrics, right? Or the criteria, or the scoring guides, or the checklists. So, your best can be determined by, of course, in assessment later on with Ma'am Marlene, you will know that how do we determine, how do we measure, how do we put value to your effort or your performance by the grades or by the system of grading. Okay, so we're done with those statements. I hope the statements affirmed or even gave you more encouragement or motivation to proceed or to achieve or even to accomplish everything that there is that you need to do. Any questions so far?
And so forth.
None. Good.
None, sir.
Moving on. Naku, napakabigat ng move on. Baka hindi pa kayo nakapag-move on.
Daghan sila, sir.
Okay. Siguro naman, na-discuss na to ni Ma'am Weng or part of your other modules, the multiple intelligence theory by Howard Gardner. Amen to this? Were you able to take up MI? The multiple
sir.
intelligence theory? Okay, good. So this will just be a sort of briefly passing discussion. Of course, the MI theory, as espoused by Gardner, tells us that, okay, it's not just a singular description of intelligent, but could you give me some elaboration on what you know about MI? What is multiple intelligence? Sige. Who can share his or her nuggets of wisdom regarding multiple intelligence? There's a raise hand button here on the Google Meet. If you want to share, if you want to give an answer, feel free to click the raise hand para hindi tayo overlap ng recitation, kumbaga. I'm sure this is fairly easy. Multiple intelligences, if you have done this already or has discussed this.
Logical, sir.
Yes,
Naturalist.
Mr. Boris. Yes, logical. Those are the categories.
Naturalist. Special.
Yes, of course, they are not just the 9, but the more than the 9 intelligences. But in general, what does this theory or what does this MI tell us? O, basi nangukay pa mo sa inyong mga notes. Hinahalongkat nyo pa yung mga notes nyo kay Ma'am Weng. Diyos ko naman. O baka yung iba hindi nag-take note.
Interpersonal, sir.
Yes, that's also part, Mr. Boris, of the intelligences. Thank you for reminding us. Yes, Ms. Limbaro. Yes, Ms. Limbaro.
Good morning, sir. This Howard Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, sir, tells us about that people does not only possess one intelligence, sir, but also other intelligences, sir. Like, for example, people do not possess intellectual lang, kundi apil na po siya sa musical na side or other non-academic na mga intelligences.
Yes, thank you so much for that. We cannot just can people. Yun bang, hindi natin pwedeng ilagay sa isang lata lang yung estudyante. Yung, ito, ganito ka lang talaga, may shadow flavor ka lang, o ikaw, spicy ka lang. But we can be flavorful in terms of intelligence. Thank you for that. Who wants to add? Who wants to give some more about what MI, multiple intelligence, is?
Sir.
Yes,
Michael.
Michael. Yes, Michael.
Multiple intelligence theory shows the idea that intelligence is one sort of general ability and argues that there are actually 8 types of intelligence. One is not more important than the other, but some may help people succeed at different things.
Yes, thank you so much. The last line matters. It will help people succeed. It doesn't matter what kind of intelligence you possess, but whether what you have, okay, really propels you or helps you to achieve. And there's no singular determinant or there's no singular prescribed intelligence to make people succeed. It's a people-to-people, person-to-person basis. Thank you, Michael. May we have some more? 1 or 2 probably? Yes, Alexa. Alexa, what is multiple intelligence, Alexa?
Intelligence theory is challenge the traditional notion that there is one single type of intelligence that sometimes known as G for general intelligence that only focuses on cognitive ability.
Yes, thank you, Alexa. Diba? Ganda yung pangalan ng Alexa, di ba? Kasi parang ano siya. Alexa,
How about
ano ang MI? Di ba? Sumasagot agad si Alexa. Okay. Yes, it challenges the notion of there's just a singular intelligence. Like, you know, in the traditionalist sense, pag sinabi natin intelligent, sasabihin natin, naku, kasi magaling magsalita. For Filipinos, we say, naku, napakagaling mag-English. Talagang maning-mani yung English. You know, English paka, bright na siya. That's our very limited view before. Diba? Or napakagaling sa numbers, Diyos ko. Daig pa yung calculator, daig pa yung adding machine. Kaya bright. Our bright is the one who can speak, the one who can talk, who writes well, the one who can solve problems. Diba? I mean, they are just, when Howard Gardner explored intelligences, he was able to debunk or to counter argue. It's not just those who know how to speak well or add numbers and divide numbers or what are the ones we call intelligent. Okay, it's actually a myriad of a lot more. Okay, can we have a last one to share or to give his or her idea on multiple intelligences?
Sir,
Yes, Gladys. Gladys was raising
Marisol,
her
sir.
hand. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Marisol? Okay.
Multiple intelligence, sir, it simply describes the different ways on how the students learn and acquire the information, sir. The different
Yes.
ways.
In different ways. The different ways of acquiring information based on your inclinations or to where you are most comfortable at. And I think Ragrag, Jemar, was also raising his hand. Yes, Jemar?
Yes, sir. Good morning. Para lang sa ako, sir, I believe MI theories can help students and teachers better understand their abilities. And also, it helps students to build up confidence and demonstrate how they can use their strength to address their weaknesses. And another, sir, siguro, I believe motivates students to find their interests and strengths, lies, and push their abilities further. So, Maruti, sir. Thank you, sir.
And you believe, and you, and I thank you. Yes, of course. It's about the strengths that our students, our learners have. Again, when Gardner said, it's not how smart you are. Okay? The multiple intelligences will tell us it's not how smart we are. It's not how bright we are. But it's where you are smart at. Again, it's not how smart you are, but where you are smart at. Dili kung unsa ka ka-bright or unsa ka no? Bag-angan kaayo, bangkilan, but kung asa ka. Okay, it's not on how, but on where. And the where situates us with the different intelligences. So whether you are verbal linguistic or mathematical or visual or kinesthetic or interpersonal, intrapersonal, naturalistic, existentialist, okay, that is where you are strongest or that is where you are most likely, okay, to learn, to acquire, and to achieve, okay, in those several aspects mentioned. Okay, so in connection to the multiple intelligence theory, okay, I actually posted an assignment there in our Google Classroom. Okay. I will just have to flash this in advance because this is the related activity to that. Okay, I hope you see this on your screens for a while, but it's there in our Google Classroom. Okay. You have to take the online multiple intelligence quiz. There's the link. It's actually automatically there in the Google Classroom. Just click that link. And once you finish taking that particular online quiz, okay, you will submit your scores, and in a few seconds, it will give you back your results. Okay, so what you're going to do once you have your results, you take a screenshot or you take a photo of your results, okay, and send that via Google Classroom. Okay, how are you going to send that via Google Classroom? Just turn in the assignment. Okay, send your screenshot there in the Google Classroom. If not, comment it. Okay, post it as a comment under that assignment. So for those who have already explored the Google Classroom, you have seen this assignment posted there. Have you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we will take a 15-minute break, okay, if that's okay with you. I will have to end recording for the first half of our lectures because I am planning to have 2 recordings because on YouTube you cannot upload for more than 3 hours. So I will split the recordings into 2 hours manageable. So it will be easier also for you to access once it's on the YouTube links. So we'll take a 15-minute break. I'll pause the recording, and when we return after 15 minutes, I'll have again another set of recording. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, salamat.